Hello gamers, today we present to you the top 5 offline games released on mobile. Before watching the video, put a like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the video. Shadow of Death 2, an offline game with a size of 800 megabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Shadow of Death 2 is a 2D action game where you play Maximus, a dark and brutal hero that takes on endless hordes of monsters. As you level up and vanquish enemies, you can upgrade your abilities and buy new weapons and armor. Players can move their character from side to side, jump, duck and use tons of attacks and different special abilities. There are more than 50 different monster-plagued levels in Shadow of Death 2, as well as varying levels of difficulty. In some of these levels, there are special bosses whose power and strength tests everything that you know. Shadow of Death 2 is a fantastic action game with hints of role-play. Controls in this game are perfect for touchscreen devices. The game has high graphics and I invite you to download it. Implosion Never Lose Hope, an offline game with a size of 3.3 gigabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Implosion is a third-person action game where players control one of the few survivors of a global cataclysm, who as humanity's last hope must face apocalyptic monsters from inside a War Mech Series 3 battle suit. The control system in Implosion is very traditional. The left virtual joystick controls your character's movements and the virtual buttons on the right are to dodge, attack and do special blows. The most attention-grabbing things about Implosion, aside from the game's style, are its spectacular graphics and high overall production value. The game even has dubbing and a first-rate soundtrack in addition to its outstanding artistic style. You can actually only play the first 6 levels for free. If you want to go any further than that, you'll have to buy the full game. Implosion is an outstanding action game without many drawbacks and I advise you to buy it.
The world. There was only dark.
Titan Quest, an offline game with a size of 3.6 gigabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Originally released for Windows PCs in 2006, Titan Quest is a hack-and-slash action RPG that takes you through a few interesting locales. You'll start your adventure in ancient Greece, where it seems the gods have forsaken humanity. In terms of mechanics, Titan Quest plays things very safely. If you've played any of the Diablo games, you'll find it pretty easy to slide in and start playing. And also special attacks, items and certain other things are assigned to their own buttons for easy access. If we look at Titan Quest relative to other iOS games in the genre, however, it's clearly the best of the lot. Generally, it's a great RPG game that supports controllers and I advise you to buy it. Takashi Ninja Warrior, an offline game with a size of 400 megabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Takashi Ninja Warrior is a 3D action game in which you can control a ninja warrior as he fights to defend his family's honor and save the people of his homeland with just his faithful katana. Takashi Ninja Warrior's controls work very well on touchscreen devices. Just use the joystick on the left side of the screen to move your character. Takashi Ninja Warrior is reminiscent of the great game Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, but on a smaller scale. The maps are relatively large and open. There are also statues scattered across the maps that you can use to quickly travel between areas or heal your warrior. Takashi Ninja Warrior is an excellent 3D action game that's halfway between the Soul Saga and Tenchu. On top of all that, its campaign mode is extensive enough to keep you entertained for hours. Arcane Quest Legends, an offline game with a size of 1 GB, available on Android and iPhone. Arcane Quest Legends is a true Diablo 2 or Titan Quest-style 3D action RPG set in the Kingdom of Aurea, a fantasy world full of monsters and all kinds of dangers. Players control a character who, after losing his parents to evil dark knights, devotes himself to fighting the forces of evil. The Arcane Quest Legends world is vast and gives you a lot of freedom. You can move around the settings however you like, exploring new locations, fighting monsters, and of course, talking to NPCs. Most characters you come across in the game have quests or information for you, and some of them can even join your group as followers, fighting side by side with your character. Arcane Quest Legends is an excellent action RPG that manages to bring the feel of traditional hack-and-slash games to Android and iOS. The game's graphics are also pretty good and, unlike many other similar games, it doesn't need an internet connection.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted. Say